Hey everybody, Felix Stoffelbaker here. I wanted to make a video because we are roughly 400 days away from the Bitcoin halving, the fourth Bitcoin halving. This is going to be an absolute raucous of an event. I don't think people are anticipating it. Now it sounds like it's a long way away because it's still over a year away. But man, I remember this exact point in 2019, when we were a year away from the 2020 halving, and people weren't taking it seriously. People thought Bitcoin was dead. There was nothing going on. And then Bitcoin went from $3,000 to $69,000 in like 18 months. And people were like, "Wow!" They were really interested when it got to 50,000 and over that. But then they stopped whenever it dropped back down in the 30s and has been relatively calm. In fact, just this past month, February of 2023 was like the most stable month in Bitcoin price action in like its history. I mean, it stayed within like a $200 or $300 range. And anybody who's been in Bitcoin for more than a couple months knows like it can swing that much in minutes, and you know, it can go thousands of dollars in minutes. Crazy price swings. But people aren't taking this seriously. I remember exactly what happened last time. The price slowly started to build that year towards it, and then when the halving happened, it dumped on people, and a bunch of people got scared and sold and were ready to get out. But if you would have held through that, the actual price, the block reward issuance gets cut in half. And so that literally means that they went from 12.5 Bitcoin to 6.25 Bitcoin, and now they're going to 3.15 Bitcoin. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Imagine the giant corporations and governments of the world trying to all get 3 Bitcoin. Do you think that they're going to do that if the price is low? Do you think that they're going to do that if it's not profitable, if there's no incentive, if it was something that didn't matter? I mean, you got to think like it's going to literally make the coins coming from 900 a day down to 450 coins a day. I mean, it is just the most scarce, hardest asset. Mathematically, this is just out of bounds, and I don't think people even realize just how critical of a monetary moment this is. I mean, I believe that the 2024 United States election will have Bitcoin on the platform. It has to. If you're not pro-Bitcoin, you can't even be considered for a candidacy. And that's just because from a financial, from a national security, from a all kind of point of view, that you have to have Bitcoin or you're going to be relegated to the distant past. You're not going to be taken seriously. And it's just one of those things where the more you attack Bitcoin, especially at the state level, the harder it gets. It's not affected. In fact, it loves it. It needs more attacks to prove its robustness. And Bitcoin always comes back. It just doesn't make any sense that it would be banned or go away, because every place that it's banned, the use increases by not by 5%, by like 60%. Like, people don't realize just how revolutionary of a technology this is and how beneficial it is for the regular people. Now, don't get me wrong, like, I'm a huge EOS guy, but I don't see EOS being able to do this level of sovereignty and offer this level of ability and portability and immutability and all the things that people love about Bitcoin, or why people love Bitcoin over something like EOS or even Ethereum. And being roughly 400 days away is the ultimate time to get involved. We've seen this play out. The people that are getting involved now are the people that are wealthy in the future, in the cycle. But the other thing is you have to be able to take profits. Not taking profits or continually converting Bitcoin to something like EOS that's been going down in price the whole time is an easy way to drain you of your Bitcoin. And I've been a victim of that, and it's been my own fault, but I'm working on it. And I just see Bitcoin as the shining light on the hill. Everything about it is so appealing. The further we get into the Great Reset, and the further we get into this new world order system and one world government and everything, you just want to be able to create your own circular economy in your own community. Bitcoin is the ultimate way to do it. And especially at these prices, if you think about it mathematically, Bitcoin is millions and millions of dollars right now in today's prices, but there's only 0.5% of the whole population involved. So when you start to think about that, you could see that this is just the very beginning. You're still early. The innovators in the growth curve is the first 2.5%. So if you're watching this video and you own any Bitcoin, you're in the innovation stage. You're in the top 1%, the top 0.5% of the entire globe. I mean, people don't fathom that. They just think that everything is random and, oh, Bitcoin could go down. Oh, it's so scary. But what if Bitcoin was the only money worth anything? Like Joe Rogan said, what are you going to do if all the currencies hyperinflate and collapse, and then Bitcoin is the only money worth anything, and you have none? You're going to be super messed up if that happens. You want to be involved. So around 400 days till the Bitcoin halving, this is the best opportunity. Stoffel Baker out.